Hello YouTube and hello Ninth Age community. This is Charles with Evershade Gaming and I've got another Ninth Age battle report. This is Buckeye Battles Round 3. Played this game a bit ago, but finally getting around to making the battle report. Objective is secured target and the deployment is marching columns. List will be in the comment section of the video. 3, 2, 1. Well, that's one big pile of miniatures. This is Game 3 of Buckeye Battles 2021, Empire of Sonnstahl vs. Kingdom of Equitane. And not only Kingdom of Equitane, but MC 2015 himself, Mr. Green Dragon Gaming, all the way from Pennsylvania. Let's give it up for Mark Charlone. So here we have our board, and this is my side with the hill and the forest. It's a pretty sparse board. Kind of two hills, two forests, and a rune-like thing in the middle, and a water feature, but I don't think the water gets used at all this game. So let's get into deployment. For that, we got to pick spells, of course. My Alchemy Adept on Pegasus takes Word of Iron and Silver Spike. My Cosmology Master takes Quicksilver Lash, Perception of Strength, Unity Divergence, and Touch of the Heart, because it's OP. My opponent has two damsels, a Master of Druidism, and an Adept with Shamanism. So he's got Awaken the Beast and Swarm of Insects from Shamanism, Oaken Throne, Healing Water, Summer Growth, and Twining Roots, and Stone Skin from Druidism. All the good stuff. We're playing Secure Target, and we put one towards one edge of the board, and then we put one in the rune, which, as you can see, that's why we don't play in the water. I get the opportunity to deploy first for turn one, so I go ahead and take that opportunity to drop like this with, my riders and just only one of my scoring units on the far left, my giant and steam tank in the middle, my big block of spears to sort of move on the center objective, my light infantry with handguns, and my artificer and cannon in the forest to both protect me from some shots and additionally, hopefully get some good shooting in between those two objective markers. And then I have my Adept and on his Pegasus, rocking out with my Dragon, and a big block of heavy infantry with Halberds to try and get the far right objective. There's Mr. Green Dragon Gaming himself, sporting a very fine tee. And let's look at his deployment. So he's, it's kind of his Green Knight on the far left. That's not deployed. That's going to, pop out later on its own. He's got a unit of Human Outriders on the left, a unit of Knights of the Realm in the middle, or behind those Human Outriders. A decent unit of, I believe, Knights of the Realm with his BSB in it. Two Scorpions. A decent-sized unit of peasant crossbows. Another unit of Knights of the Realm, Knights Aspirant. Decent unit of Knights of the Grail with his Druidism Master, kind of peeking on the hill. And then his Duke on a Hippogriff, rocking, like the Black Knight's Talbot, and I think he's got Divine Judgment, so he's a pretty tough cookie. Really need the cannons to pop that guy in the face and then pop him in the face again with the Black Knight's Talbot. So here we are, Empire Sonnstahl turn 1. What are we talking about? Move up the steam tank. You can see Mark's pretty excited starting the game. And just about everything moves up, really except my dragon. Holding the dragon back because those scorpions are intimidating as hell. They could really put some damage on my dragon, so I actually screen it behind the forest right there, and I'm kind of happy with it just providing the discipline in this case. But Pegasus in the field to give him some cover. He's pretty far charges, or maybe even impossible for the Grails, and then he can do a short, or he might be in range for a short Silver Spike. Just moving up. Got the Knights of Sun in front of the hill. My opponent vanguarded his mounted human back to hold him back for chaff. I moved up my riders so that they can start popping shots on those knights on my left flank here. Again, Green Dragon Gaming. Hype, hype, hype. Anyway, so we shoot over here. We just do a single wound with our pistols. And I want to say that's about it. The handguns moved up, but they don't really shoot well. The turn they move up. And yeah, that was about it, really. Eh. So going into my opponent's turn one, this is probably, nope, not even his movement. I didn't get his movement. But in his magic phase, he puts Entwining Roots on my cannon, which is very nice for him. And he kills a couple handgunners, and importantly, he puts a single wound on the Artificer, which is frustrating. Not that many people tend to shoot at this unit, but that Artificer is very vulnerable on the horse. As you can, this is actually a better view of my opponent's turn. Is with his movement phase, so he does move up his Knights of the Grail pretty aggressively. The Grail, the Duke and the Hippogriff does peek his toe up behind that hill, so we'll see what happens there. And yeah, just moves up aggressively with his Knights to really try and force those handgunners to get into combat pretty quickly. So on my turn 2, I charge my Knights of Sun Griffin into the Yeoman. I just gotta get rid of them at some point. I believe I actually charged my Giant first to see if they would tear, and they passed that. So that was a bit of a bummer, because I think they were just on like a 7 or whatever. Continue to move my Riders along. They're just going to keep shooting. I'm hoping at some point that a gap opens up and they can maybe fly out and go get rid of one of those Scorpions, or even kind of go wipe out all that shooting, because that stuff is not good. I'm fairly confident about my Steam Tank being able to handle that Night block. They have a decent amount of attacks, but I got such good resilience and armor. The only thing is the BSB is in that unit. He's got Tristan's Resolve with the virtue of Might. So he does have Lethal Strike and do D3 wounds, which is a little scary, but it's kind of swingy. Like, he only really should get one of those through every other turn. And I'm not too worried about the rest of the Knights doing all that much damage, so it's kind of tough. Yeah, but that's what it is. That's about, I think everything else just on the right flank backs up, except the handgunners. They can't back up. They're really close, but they're just going to try and do some damage right now, which we do a Touch of the Heart and a Silver Spike, and kill 3 Knights here, which is pretty good. The cannon hits and does 3 wounds, which is good, but not quite good enough. I really could have used, I think I must have rolled a 1 on the multiple wounds, because I did not activate the Black Knight's Talbot, which is just a little rough, considering I need that to kind of happen on the first shot if I have a chance of actually killing this guy. So he is wounded, but I need to do another wound to him before I can activate that Black Knight's Talbot. So that was a little frustrating. It's good to see him with only 1 wound left, but again, it doesn't quite matter at this point. Handgunner shoot, and they kill 2 more Knights and causes a little panic, which was helpful. Good to see. So that was nice. We caused another wound over here. No panic caused. We kill the Chaff. And then going into my opponent's turn 2. The Knights of the Realm charge the Knights of Sun Griffin, and they fail that charge, which was very fortunate for me. And then the Knights of the Grail charge the handgunners, and they flee. Noticeably, the Artificer takes his DT and dies. So that was amusing, but that's what happened. And then this is what would look like after movement. The Grails and the Grail Duke redirect and make, I'd say, average charges into the heavy infantry with spears, which, again, is not great, but thankfully that is a big block. And I'm hoping that takes them at least 3 rounds of combat to chew through. And if that is what it takes, I think that could be satisfactory. So, since my opponent failed his charge, not wanting to get hit by the Steam Tank, he pops out his Green Knight in front of the Steam Tank, which was very smart. And then he uses his Knights of the Realm that were getting shot by the Pistoliers to chaff the Knights of Sun Griffin, which was okay. Can't complain about that. He gets Stone Skin up on the Grails, which it's not like I was going to kill a lot of them anyway, but that's going to make it even harder. And yeah. The Grail Duke, I want to say, is still in... Oh, actually, you know what? He might have not charged him in, now that I think about it. Yeah, I don't think he charged him. I think he just flew him over here so that he had access to the Druidism, but I think he wanted to keep him available maybe to charge the dragon if I wanted to kind of move the dragon over. So it's not a bad move because he can charge over those knights. And this is going into Empire Sonnstahl turn 3. So the Knights of Sungriffin charge the Knights of the Realm. The Giant and the Steam Tank charge the Green Knight. The Dragon and the Mage sort of move up aggressively. It's trying to see if we can maybe get rid of all this shooting, kind of taking a pull. I believe I had just the corner of the Dragon's base to the front corner of that heavy infantry. So they are Discipline 9, not minimized or anything like that, but I'm hopeful that they can just stick around there and sort of grind that out. Hold up those Grail Knights for a couple more rounds of combat. I did take 2 wounds on the Steam Tank from, I believe, one of the... it must have been one of the Scorpions, those bastards. And then we go into combat, and we actually pop the Green Knight, and I think he went to go hit the Steam Tank and whiffed, so that was excellent. And the Giant overruns, which is great. He's in a great position to help get rid of a lot of that shooting. These guys chase down the Knights of the Realm. Thankfully, don't take any DTs in that forest. And over here, we're just grinding away. We do kill 1 Grail Knight, so that might help me stay around for a little bit longer. But those guys are tough. They're peeling away. And going KOE turn 3, my opponent notices very good charge and hits the flank of this spear block, which I definitely didn't notice. And really just needed what be like another inch or so behind the Steam Tank so that he couldn't make his way into a flank. But he was able to go forward, do a nice big wheel, and slide right through the Giant and the Steam Tank. So that is probably going to be a dead block of heavy infantry. So that's a bit of a bummer. And then my opponent's, he's just healing wounds off his Duke guy, which is tough because... he's getting thrown up. He keeps getting entwining roots back on my cannon. It's brutal. I really needed that cannon to smoke. And then, oof, this was tough too. My opponent puts 4 wounds on the dragon. So, I was almost fortunate that it was only 4. Could have been 5. But that hurt. Thankfully, dragon is not dead, but that definitely hurt. And that's the end of the Halberdiers on KOE turn 3. So that's a bit tough, but the good thing is they don't really have any charges, so they're just going to be moving on their turn 4. So not the end of the world. So Empire Sonnstahl, we're getting ready for Empire Sonnstahl turn 4. So the Steam Tank goes into the flank of those knights. The dragon pulls back. To be out of 24 of the other Scorpion, just on the odd case that I just didn't want to risk. It was a bit of a longer charge to the other Scorpion, and I just didn't feel like risking failing it, being super short, and letting my opponent kill the dragon. So I'm at long range, and I've got my Cosmo Master nearby, so I'm going to do some healing. And I turned the handgunners to sort of look at those Grail Knights. They can't really charge them. The cannon, I think, is even peeled back because it didn't have a shot at one turn, so it was able to move back. So kind of in a decent spot. It's good that we got that big block pulled down. We're going to be able to maybe get those Knights of Sungriffin into a flank or a front or a rear. And those guys are pretty good against those guys with that Strength 5 AP 3. So, and we got the Giant and the Giant and the Riders should be able to pick up the Scorpions. I did try and charge the other Scorpion with my other Wizard, and he failed. But that's okay. But combat goes really well with all the shooting. The Giant and the Riders are able to just kind of pop through and take out the Scorpion, take out the crossbows, and the Riders make nice overruns and get into the last Scorpion. So probably a little bit of a fear for nothing, but my dragon is in a good spot to charge that center block right now. So, and I've also got it surrounded by a couple different things. So actually, good positioning. Can't complain. This is my opponent's turn 4. He just sort of moves aggressively. Nothing was really looking at him to charge him, so he just kind of flies forward. And I don't blame him. Nothing was looking at him. Do kill that other scorpion. He puts Entwining Roots on my cannon. He does get Awaken the Beast. He's got the Shamanism Wizard here for resilience. And then we go into Empire Sonnstahl, turn 5. And I'm able to rear charge with the Riders, flank charge with the Knights, and front charge with the Dragon into just about everything. I was able to get this nice little flank charge here. Really not that far for this unit. Put on the double on them, put steady men on them, and just sort of decided, hey, things light troops. I got a champion, I got a wizard, I got a BSB. I wish I had an artificer. That'd be great too to sacrifice. But at the very least, he'll probably win. Or actually, if I go in, I got charge, banner, big flank, or flank, banner, flank, big flank, banner, rank, charge. Combat res 6. I can win by 2. Pretty good. So I went for it. It'd be nice to see if I could cause a panic test and just get the odd chance of running this guy down. That's probably my best bet of killing him at this point. And we don't do that. And we're able to beat down those realms, but they get away. And we're running out of time at this point. So pretty much all that my opponent does is he moves up his Grail Knights to be within 6 inches of the center objective. And that's pretty much about it, because that's where we end up calling it. The only other thing is that I do lose my Cosmology Master the last turn. I think the Cosmology Master was 25 more points expensive than a BSB. So see you later, Cosmology Master. Bit of a bummer, but, sacrifices have to be made at certain points. So this was an Empire Sonnstahl defeat, 8-12 after an objective loss to KOE. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you soon for another 9th Age Battle Report.